Hello YouTubers, I want to welcome you to another edition of Bargain Bin Gear. Now, in this episode, we're going to discuss orange cabinets. And this includes the PPC 108, the PPC 112, and probably others. Now listen, orange cabinets sound great, especially for clean sounds. So no issues there. However, I've discovered that they're made of crap. No offense. And what I mean by that is sad. The input jacks, right, that you plug your speaker cable into are complete crap on these orange cabinets. Very simply, they're made of plastic. Okay? I'll show you one. Here's one. Well, half of one anyway. Take a look at that. You see how that's made of plastic? Alright. Connected to a little tiny circuit board. And this is what they end up like after a while. Pure garbage. Right? And especially on the little PPC 108. And I have one here. MIDI. Okay, so I have a PPC 108 right here. And it's a little tiny speaker cabinet. And so as a result, it gets knocked around. Right? And here we have the little plate here, and it contains the two plastic jacks, right? These things, right? Complete crap, I'm telling you. I think this fell over once, and sure enough, the plastic input jack just snapped and cracked. That was the end of it, right? The other thing is the washers, like right here, little plastic washers, right? And the little screws they go on, they break so easily. I'm super disappointed. But I vowed, because I really like the sound of these. So I went ahead and went on Amazon and bought some Switchcraft jacks, metal input jacks, right? High quality, will last a super long time, and super simple, Now, granted, this has two jacks, and one was like an extension jack or something. I'll never use that. So, all I want is a freaking input jack that's reliable, right, into the cabinet. So, and keep in mind, I'm not an electrical technician, so my soldering skills are very limited. However, this one was pretty darn simple. Basically, I took the two leads coming from the speaker cabinet off this little circuit board crap, right? And soldered the positive to the positive and negative to the negative, kind of like a car battery. And tighten the jack, input jack, and we have it here, right? And man, it feels solid. Unlike that plastic crap. I even hate the way that it feels when you plug in a cable into the plastic ones. So anyway, here we go. And now what I may do, I may not, I don't know. For cosmetic reasons, what I could do is put in this dummy jack, what's left of it, you know, to plug up the hole, because there's two holes. And now there's only one jack, which is really the way I prefer it. And I just can't imagine that there are bands out there using these cabinets and are using these plastic jacks. I mean, you're asking for trouble. Anyway, and the sad thing is I find these plastic jacks on inexpensive equipment and expensive equipment. You know, and usually on amps, especially amps, right? The more expensive amps have the metal jacks. But that's not always the case. Take, for example, the Marshall DSL 40C. Right? The input jack is plastic. And it's, I bet you anything, it's one of these crappy things. And, I mean, these things, I've seen them melt, break, right? Or these little connectors up here don't make contact well, and that kind of, you know, just on and on and on and on. You know, for a few pennies more, you can get the metal jack, you know. Now, in my case, I think it costs like $6 or $7. And soldering was pretty darn easy, considering it's just two little leads, right? So basically, I threaded the wire and turned it over on the little jack thing, and then just soldered it. Very simple. So, anyway, well, let's see how I did. Right? So I've got it here. I'm going to put it down. I'm going to connect the speaker cable. And I have to say, it feels so solid now. And listen to this. I don't know if you heard that click, but that is the actual clicking of putting the speaker cable in. So let's try it. Make sure I soldered it correctly and stuff. So there you go. There's the orange cabinet now with a metal jack. And I don't have to mess around with these plastic pieces of crap. Okay, so there we go. So consider that fixed. Now, granted, I lost a couple screws on the way. I'm sure they'll show up. Right? So instead of 4 screws holding the back plate, I only have 2 diagonally. I'm sure I'll find them here and screw in the rest of the way. Now, a couple things. If you're a doubter of what I'm saying, take a look at Fender amps. And you'll notice that their lower end line, right, has the plastic crap jacks, such as the Hot Rod Deluxe and things. Whereas the Deluxe Reverb and those kinds of things, more expensive amplifiers, wow, all of a sudden they switched to metal jacks. Wonder why that is. Anyway, so on my orange cabinets, I guarantee you I'm going to change every single jack on the cabinet that has those crappy plastic jacks. They just are terrible. In fact, I have an orange PPC 112 right now. Love the sound of it, man, and it's built like a tank. However, the output jack, or the input jack, the input jack is freaking plastic! And not only that, it kind of broke off in my hand. I was like, what is this? Right? I mean, that's not reliable at all. You know? Whereas the simple Switchcraft metal jack is plenty reliable. In fact, I probably won't have to mess with this orange amp for a very long time as far as the input jack goes. Whereas on the plastic ones, man, at least for me, I've just had terrible luck with those. Right? There's always, they either break, melt, right? Or the little connectors, you know, flip up and they don't make good contact and those kinds of things. So, very disappointed there. Now, keep in mind a Switchcraft jack is what? Between, I don't know, $5 and $7 or something like that. However, for those who are not comfortable with soldering, and believe me, I mean, I don't even have a real soldering kit, you know. You've seen these guys they have a workbench and they've got like the, you know, solder gun with the holder, and it's got LCDs giving them the temperature and so on and so forth. Very expensive and those things. No, this was not it. This was $4.95, Harbor Freight, cheapo, you know, soldering gun, and then or soldering iron, excuse me, and I don't know, a roll of solder, and that's it. It worked out great. And you know, well, in any case, if you're not comfortable with soldering, it's 2 wires onto the jack. It's really pretty simple. But if you're not comfortable with that, you can buy pre-wired jacks with 2 wires coming out, you know, and that would work as well. And I have to say, they're a little bit nicer than what I could accomplish, because they have heat shrink tubing, you know, where they soldered it in, which I didn't have. So, you know, so that would make a big difference as well. And in fact, if you have access to the speaker jacks, they even have a harness which includes the jack, the 2 wires coming from the jack, and the speaker connectors. you could do it that way. However, I've discovered that at least on the PPC 108, you try to take off the back even without the screws. It's like it's glued in there or something. You can't pull off the back very easily. Now, it may be a different story on the PPC 112, I'm not sure. But I guarantee you I'm ordering some Switchcraft jacks to replace the orange cabinet, which right now I can't play, right? Because the freaking jack fell apart in my hand, if you can believe it. Because it was plastic. Who knows, maybe I had the cable plugged in and stepped on it or something. I don't know. I don't know why it broke, but it did. Which is sad. What crap. So any case, so I'm going to order a jack for it this evening. And then I've got two other cabinets that'll be doing the same to it, you know. I just have no faith in these at all, you know. And I like it. There's a YouTube video, and sure enough, the guy had a plastic jack and it was malfunctioning and things. And the title of his video is, "This Crap Has to Go." How right he is. Alright, so I wanted to share that with you. If you have an orange cabinet, you should really consider swapping out those jacks, because they are crap as it is. You know, plastic versus metal. Alright, very good. See you next time. Okay, bye.